You can live on Halloween candy for 4 days, and then you get a tummy ache. Greetings, Seeker. It is a bit of a bittersweet moment for me. Today is the last of 4 days of the Rabbis Without Borders retreat. I'm sitting on a rocking chair out front. I'll stop doing that so you don't get dizzy. Waiting for my lift to the airport. It's been a remarkable 4 days. If I'm coming across a little blurry, it's because I am. 4 days of really intense learning, intense bonding with just a phenomenal group of people, but different food than I'm used to eating, so my tummy hurts a little bit. People may have stayed up late a few nights. I was one of those people. So a little groggy, haven't shaved in a couple of days, but boy, mind fully blown, heart broken, but broken open. It's been remarkable. It's been nourishing. It's made me feel like I'm now part of a team of superheroes. They asked in kind of a wrap-up way about our experience, and I said, I feel like Rogue, I think it was Rogue in the first X-Men movie, when she goes to Professor X's mansion for the first time, and she's always been kind of a weird loner, and then she goes into this mansion and there's somebody over here with claws, and there's somebody over here with like other superpowers, and somebody just caught the curtains on fire, and I just feel like I'm surrounded by superheroes here, and that I get to be a part of this is just really humbling, and I'm really grateful for it. I'm grateful to the rabbis of Klal, Rabbi Sirbu, who organized this whole thing, Shelley, who was just the backbone and the glue, and it's kind of a mixed metaphor. And of course, Rabbis Hirschfield and Kula, the co-presidents of Klal, who had the vision to see this thing through and very wisely tapped Rabbi Sirbu to put it together. And she's just done a phenomenal job of putting together a phenomenal group of people.
That's what I put on Netflix in December.
Fire. Oh, the fire. My name's Rabbi Rebecca Sirbu, and I'm the director of Rabbis Without Borders at Klal. I think rabbis are really a very special class of people. They're incredibly well-educated and talented, and they themselves want to give to others. And there's really not a lot of support of people who give to them and nurture them and create safe spaces where rabbis can grow and learn and nurture their own talents so that they can serve others. And that's something that I feel that I can do and I want to do. And that's what a lot of Rabbis Without Borders does, is helps people identify their own talents and superpowers so that they can use them to help other people connect to an amazing tradition. You know, this is a really sweet group of people. In my experience, every cohort group is different, and they kind of have a different feel to them. And some cohort groups, they're people who dominate that I have to try to manage a little bit.
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
And other cohort groups, I don't know, they're just different feels. This one, the overall feeling was just really one of warmth and sweetness, and I greatly enjoyed that.
What's something unexpected that happened this week?
One of our exercises that we did was the rabbis were encouraged to, or their assignment was to put themselves into the shoes of somebody who disagreed with something that they passionately believed. And we've done this exercise before, and it always turns out slightly differently. This time it was very interesting to see quite the high level of discomfort that people had with the exercise, and I think that is due to the current political climate that we're living in that the divides between different opinions are much greater than they have been in the past, and it's really, really hard for people to bridge those divides.
Is there anything you're going to do differently next time?
In the past, we've done this exercise that I just mentioned later in the life cycle of the cohort. And this is the first time I've done it so early, and that may also be partly why it was particularly difficult for this group. I'm thinking that I might need to move it back into a later session so that there is much more trust established between the people in the room to allow people that safe space to go into a place that they're not comfortable with.
I have to say that the talent show is a pretty powerful tikkun for the raw nerves that came up in that session. I know you admire everyone's talent equally. Who is the most entertaining person in the talent show?
Oh, the MC, of course. The MC, which is our own Rabbi John Carrier, blew me away with his, witty jokes and the way he called people up and kept it going.
Right. Well, I wasn't fishing for that.
So you really did that well.
Like I said, that's my hammer. really all I've got. I have no talent to speak of, except sort of like being the glue between other people's talents. So that's why I do these interviews. So I have to talk the whole time.
I'm Sharon Litwin, and I am a mom, and I am a rabbi, and I work in a congregation B'nai Israel in Millburn, New Jersey, as director of congregational learning. Run their religious school and do their adult ed and innovative adult programming, and I oversee youth group. I run triathlons and swim as far as I can, especially in the sunshine, and ride my bicycle as much as possible.
How did you find out about Rabbis Without Borders?
I was there at the inception. Rebecca and I have been friends for 12 years, and when she was hired for by Klal to do this, I was in the conversations with her about debating whether or not this would be the right job for her. And so I've been watching her go through the process of creating the cohorts for years, and finally I said to her, I need to be in the network. So she said, write the essay.
Do you think that this is the right job for her?
For Rebecca?
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. She has found her calling.
You've probably known about Rabbis Without Borders for a long time. You've probably heard her gripe about things. I'm not.
It's okay.
Don't want to put words in your mouth. That's insane.
Gripe, I wouldn't have used that word.
But you probably you've been familiar with it on a more intimate level than most people who are popping here for the first time.
Sure.
Did anything surprise you about this week?
The people. You know, like I know a lot of rabbis, and I don't know these rabbis. There was no one here in this group that I knew particularly well, and I was like so overjoyed to meet the diversity of rabbis that are in this group, and to hear their stories and to learn from them and to experience what we experienced together. Like I wasn't expecting that there wasn't one bad egg in the whole group. You know, like everybody had some Torah to teach all of us, you know, and like whether that you learned that from me, my Torah, like, you know, whatever it was, like I learned something from everyone here. And, you know, you might have learned something different from that same person, but we all got to learn that. And that was surprising to me because I hang out with a lot of rabbis, and this group was overwhelming by a lot.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time. I'm kind of a slow burn disappointment. Tell me about something for you that has changed in the last 4 days.
I feel more confident. Like I feel like if I have something I want to share with my community or with my staff, that it comes from a place of strength rather than me like having to tiptoe around the politics. That I feel like I could come I do that a lot, tiptoe around politics, like I could come out stronger to make joyful Judaism happen and not worry about what someone might think or say. Shelley needs the key.
I want to give a shout out.
Hello. Shelley Adderman, here we go.
And who has been
procurer of libations and provider of paperwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll say thank you and
Here,
I just
tell us your most meaningful
I wanted
moment.
to share the most meaningful moment of the retreat. There was a stray chicken who caught my eye.
Stray chicken. And what
And
did
I
you do
thought
with
she
that?
was lost and I could find her. I did catch the chicken though.
She did. I saw it. She totally wrangled a chicken.
what was your favorite act in the talent show last night?
I think maybe Ben doing the Hamilton mashup, you know, with, you know, all his Benness.
Psalms.
Yeah, Hamilton, Psalms, and ukulele. I think that was my favorite. But maybe it's only because that was the first one and it's what came to mind first. Because also Adam's story at the end, like, was so poignant and real, and, you know, like, I loved that. So they were all really good.
Yeah.
Sharina dancing,
Yeah,
you know,
that
they
was
were
great.
pretty memorable.
What are 3 words that you would use for the swapping positions exercise that we had yesterday?
Frustrating, confusing, and creating cohesion. That's really 4 words, but
I'll take it.
okay.
Sharon and I were both at something called Shavuot Family Camp last week, which was 50 families who went up to this camp in New Jersey.
No, it was in Pennsylvania.
Oh, it was in Pennsylvania.
Milford, Pennsylvania.
Right, New Jersey-wide camps in Pennsylvania. And as I was sitting in the dining hall one afternoon, and they were saying the announcements for all the activities that we could do that afternoon, like boating and card games
And exercise.
I said, oh my God, I have just entered Dirty Dancing.
No, and then she wrote a blog post
And
about
then
it.
I wrote a blog post on Rabbis Without Borders on myjewishlearning.com.
I totally read.
He says facetiously.
Anyway. And but it was like really weird. It felt like, I imagine what Grossinger's and Kellerman's and all those old
my grandparents went to that,
places
the
were
Neverland.
like. It was kind of it was fun and kind of crazy, and so that's why Dirty Dancing is on our minds.
Did you when you did that? Did you have the time of your life?
Did we? Sure.
I'm Rabbi Sharina Eisenberg, and I help increase the joy of Judaism in people's lives.
I'm Edith Solomon. I am the founder of Hasidah, which is a Jewish infertility support organization.
I had friends, other rabbis, who went through Rabbis Without Borders. They loved their experience. They highly recommended it. And when they got to know me, they said you would be a perfect fit and encouraged me to apply. And I'm so glad I did.
I was actually nominated for a different cloud program, and when we learned that it was really focused on congregational rabbinate, realized that was not a fit for me, but that this was a great match, and talked to Rebecca, and we're like, yeah, this is definitely a great fit, so I tried it.
What's been the biggest surprise for you?
I think how much I fit in. I'm surrounded by people who are equally inspiring and intimidating, but trying to find a place for innovation, but recognizing that I'm a rabbi, and that really focusing though on how rabbis approach this and being in this sense of community, I realize I feel much more comfortable in this realm talking about how to make change and how to go through boundaries. And I don't think it was both learning about myself and this experience that like this suits me very well.
What surprised me the most is how I feel as if I fit in with this group. I've been searching for a group of rabbis, humans first, but rabbis who are innovative, who are really thinking outside of the boundaries that may have been imposed upon them in their Jewish upbringing, their Jewish experiences in the world, and are looking for new ways to connect people, to find ways to make Judaism come alive for the current generation and the future. And to be surrounded by these people, to be able to get support and encouragement, and also just know I'm not alone. And that there's a whole cohort of people, and beyond that, in Rabbis Without Borders and Klal, who want to be there for me, want to support me, and see my dreams flourish for the Jewish community, and wants to enable all of us to go forward together.
If this week was a song, what would this week's theme song be?
I need help with the end of the lyric that is "Come together right now."
Die.
What is it? What is that?
Over me?
Is it over me? Not the over me part. It's the come together part.
It's more so that it's the fact that we made music together here. I think to me, like, I just wanted to say anything we sang here, because it was nice that this is such a musical group, but we made music.
So the Rabbis Without Borders retreat was a jam band experience.
It was pretty jamming.
Yeah.
It really was. I was
Theme song
impressed.
was unspecified jazz.
Let's jam.
So I'm Malcolm Cohen. I work as a rabbi in a Reform synagogue in the west of Las Vegas. I basically try and bring people together in community and help them negate the sense of alienation that people might otherwise feel in 21st century America.
I'm Scott Chaffrin. I am a rabbi at a synagogue called Colina in St. Louis, Missouri, and I teach Torah and run the religious school, and I'm currently in the process of breaking down all of the things we do and rebuilding them better, stronger, and faster.
You have the technology. How did you find your way to Rabbis Without Borders?
I applied previously and didn't get on. So that gave me a little kick up the arse to try a few things, which some of which were a little bit strange, but it turns out that's the jam of Rabbis Without Borders. So yeah, my second time of asking, I got in, and I felt really honoured and privileged. I mean, honestly, there wasn't anything that surprised me in the sense that I was ready to be delighted with the experience. So it's more a sense of, fulfill the expectation. So I wasn't really surprised at anything. I was just like, this is great, and I expected it to be. Yeah.
Works as advertised.
Yeah, really, it's nice, right? It doesn't always say what it's, it doesn't always do what it says on the box.
Now with 20% more qual.
I guess I was surprised by how well the group of people meshed together, because we're not all really cut from the same cloth. We have very different experiences and viewpoints and Torahs and jobs, and having been a part of other professional type cohorts that are designed to give you skills and give you training, the focus isn't always necessarily on, like, yes, it's good to have colleagues and have a professional relationship, but I felt like that's not what this was really at all. That it was much more like a group of people in a very, like in the best way, like a summer campy thing where we all bonded and like created this thing that didn't previously exist that was better than the sum of each of our individual things.
Right, so it wasn't just about eating vegetarian food and passing out business cards.
Correct.
Which, not like every single rabbi conference is like that, but
But that's what everyone assumes that this was. Like when I told them we weren't going to Zimbabwe, their next question was, oh, so it's like a chance for you to get to meet people who could help you in your career and network with them. And I was like, yeah, but not really. Like, we do meet people, and I do want them to know me and know them, but that's not all.
Yeah.
It also was very good vegetarian food, just to be clear.
Yeah, I'm going to let that oxymoron slide. No, I'm just kidding. I sometimes eat vegetables. Was there ever a point this week where you were uncomfortable?
Yeah, yesterday in the session where we dealt with trying to put a point of view which was actually opposing to our own. I could see that other people in the group were uncomfortable to the point that I didn't feel good that they had to go through that on a deep level.
If being really honest, I felt uncomfortable the whole time, because I do sort of feel like I'm sitting in a room with people who are that I am not at their level, and that any minute someone's going to discover that and realize they made a huge mistake and revoke my membership card. And I really, really want to be at that table and be in the room with these incredible people. Just feeling very self-conscious about that.
It's a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Oh, very much.
But I'll just say, from my perspective, it is a syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the illness that's not homeostasis. Trust Rabbi Sirbu. I certainly do after she picked you, both of you.
Yeah.
So,
she knows her onions. Yeah. You're here for a reason. It's a bloody good reason.
Somebody asked her, like, what's the selection process all about? And it reminded me of when we were back in rabbinical school, and people would have conversations trying to hack the admissions process with classmates. And one of them was like, this guy's amazing, or this lady's amazing, and how the heck can he get in? And what's like their theme of the year that they put together this particular flavor of misfits. And then I talked to the dean, and she was like, yeah, no, it's not that, it's not that Machiavellian. It was like, can you do the work? Are you good for the community? Are you good for the Jewish people? Bada bing, you're a legal seat.
Right, but also for this particular group, I enjoy the fact that people were generally kind and sensitive to what was going on in the group dynamics. And I think that was, aside from the fact that there was a good mix of different talents and geography and that kind of thing, but that was like a central thing where I was like, yeah, that's really good, and that helps the group to work.
Yeah. Is there any way that you leave here feeling more comfortable with whatever?
Yeah, like I said to the group, I always craved like a cohort of people I'd gone through HUC with, people, because I was only here for a year at HUC. So, it's not like I'm everyone's best friends, and some people I connected with better than others, but it's still a sense like you're part of a group of rabbinic colleagues. In America, I had it in England, but in America. And so that's something I never had, and I feel more comfortable saying I've got American colleagues now.
I have a really positive sense that, like, throughout the Rabbis Without Borders process, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm just talking about this year or just like into the future generally, but that I will get there wherever I want there to be. It's very nebulous, and I'm not quite sure what exactly I want that to look like, but I do feel like, to use Brad's metaphor from the other day, like that there will be a bus, and this will help me figure out that bus, and it will take me to a place that I want to go once I figure out where that is.
Fantastic. So, most important question: who was the best MC in the talent show?
Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Rabbi Miriam Charlinchamp. I am the spiritual leader of Temple Shalom in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm the curator, which is a fancy word for creator, of Just Love, which is a new organization for people who are wanting to experience their faith through justice.
And what's the thing that surprised you the most here?
That people were cool.
You came here, you're giving me like nerd alert.
I was pleasantly surprised that everyone was amazing.
That's awesome. So go catch your cab.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'm sad to leave this space, but it's like you can't just have a diet of, you can live on Halloween candy for 4 days, and then you get a tummy ache. But you can't eat Halloween candy eternally. I'm just really hoping that what I have learned here, the skills that I've gained, the confidence that I've gained, I can fully honor by taking it back and implementing it in my synagogue and my community in ways that I haven't even really imagined yet. So I'm looking for a mustache on this car. I think it's my ride. I'll talk more at the airport. So I have to say this is the hardest video segment to make of this whole adventure because I am in the airport. It is, the sun's going down outside right now. It's kind of getting in my eyes, so I have my sunglasses on. Sun's going down on Thursday. Been hanging out in the airport for a while, waiting for my flight home from the Rabbis Without Borders retreat. And I'm really sad to be leaving. And it's not like I could stay. I mean, the retreat's over, nobody's there, and I'd just be there by myself with the sheep. I want to give great honor and gratitude to Shelley Aderman, who was the coordinator of this experience in the sense of just making sure everybody was fed and had keys to their rooms, taking care of making sure everything was set up for all those things, having refreshments in the lounge, backbone of this experience that was a wonderful experience. So thank you, Shelley. I want to give kavod to Rabbi Rebecca Sirbu, who is in charge of Rabbis Without Borders and who selected just an outstanding class of people who I now refer to affectionately as mutants, because the feeling of being in this cohort can only be compared in my mind to a comic book of a teenage misfit who gets into trouble because of certain differences that she has, like Rogue in the X-Men. Finally discovers Professor X and goes into his mansion for the first time and is surrounded by all these other people who are truly exceptional, and knowing that she can team up with them, they can do some amazing things together. I hope everybody got the message at the end of the day when I said, you are all mutants, and I love every one of you. So not only did Rebecca select just an incredible cohort of people, she organized a magnificent 4 days of learning, not just fun, and not even always that much fun, but informative and eye-opening and challenging that we were really able to grow through. And so it's going to be interesting to see when I go back if all my clothes still fit, because I have grown spiritually and also through cheesecake. I want to thank Rabbi Erwin Kula and Rabbi Brad Hirschfield for their teaching. These are the guys that really got me interested in the Klaal's work when they came to visit Ziegler these 8 years ago, and teaching a Torah of pluralism, but conscious pluralism in the sense that I get to retain my own viewpoint while fully exploring and honoring yours, and neither of us has to give up our viewpoint in order to understand the other. I think this is critical in America today, but not only in America. This is critical work for the world to do. And now that I have some small bit of training in order to move that work forward, I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful to my wife for letting me go on this adventure. I'm grateful to my in-laws for keeping the kids entertained in Wisconsin so I could go to this thing while my wife went to something else. I'm really grateful to my synagogue, Burbank Temple Emmanuel, for supporting me in this endeavor and giving me the time to go and encouraging me to participate in this, which is a real honor for me to do this. And I want to make sure I make it valuable for the synagogue, that I don't just come back and forget this work in the demands of the ongoing needs of the synagogue, I want to make sure I take this stuff and on day one have it add value to my rabbinate, add value to my community. And it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be well worth it. Last but not least, I want to thank my amazing colleagues who I met this week, some of whom I already knew, many more I did not. There were about 20 of us, and you'll be hearing much more about them from me as I stay in communication with them, share some of the great work that they're doing, some of the people you've seen interviewed in this series, but there were many more that I didn't get to talk to yet, but I sure will, and when I do, you will learn some Torah from them as well. I want to give them special thanks because of their awesomeness, because of their presence. They were really there and brought their whole selves to this experience. They took the same risks I did in learning some difficult things. They each brought their unique identity, their unique passion, their unique take on the world, and that's normally expressed in all sorts of wonderful projects that they're working on, but they took time to come into this space, to be real, to be honest, to be open, to be vulnerable, and to be genius. So cohort 8, or the Rabbinate, as I call them, thank you. Seeker, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this whole series. If you haven't watched the whole series, hit the playlist and watch them all in order so that you too can experience the wonder of Rabbi Camp that is the Rabbis Without Borders Summer 2017 Cohort number 8 Retreat. If you like these videos that I make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you will automatically receive a notification and updates when I post a new video. And until next time, peace.